Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about Suhr Reactive IR. Reactive load box, impulse response loader, attenuator, impulse response mixer, you name it, jack of all trades. And how it compares to industry standard Suhr Reactive Load IR. Okay, so what we have here, if we start from left to right, picture somewhere there, because I've already connected this and I've been playing this for a couple of days and it's awesome. Power on off, headphones, out, auxiliary in. So you can connect your tube amp, play music from your laptop, computer, phone, and listen it with headphones while you're playing and jamming. You know, in complete silence, if you will. Then there's impulse response loader. You can load 24 IRs in here, and there's input level knob, and this control knob, this does a lot of things. We'll get that soon. Then there's attenuator. So I can have my cabinet connected, and when this is 0, there's no sound from a cabinet. The more I increase this, the more sound will come from a cabinet. This is absolutely fantastic. This is the best attenuator I've tried. It's so smooth, there's no cracks and pops, and it just works. Fantastic. Then there's resonance and reactive knobs. So you can use this as a passive load. I will present you how that sounds. And then there's a resonance load. So it's kind of like, because there's 3 different loads. Your standard load, reactive load, and resonance reactive load. Cool. And then on the back, I need to cheat here because I can look at their glass. Like I said, everything's connected to my system and amps and computer or whatnot. There is a throughout signal, so you can bypass the attenuator and go directly to your cabinet. And then there's attenuator out with 4, 8 and 16 ohm switch. I have now this cabinet connected. This is a 4 or 16 ohms mono, 8 ohm stereo. This is a Fryette fat bottom with Eminence P50E speakers. They're kind of like a mix of V30s and greenbacks. Great cab. Then there's a insert, so you can connect, let's say, amp-like pedal, preamp pedal or preamp into this. And then there's emulations inside what we're gonna check out with the software, so you can actually, it emulates the tone stack of several amplifiers, 800 for example. And then there's it also emulates kind of the behavior, the negative feedback power amp interaction between preamp and amp also. Really cool. Then there's direct balanced out and balanced out. So you can record your amp like direct sound and then add the IR afterwards in DAW. And balanced out, which is the impulse response out, so you're recording, listening the sound with the impulse response which you have chosen. And then there's ground lifts for those all 2. And then there's a SPDIF out, like digital out. So you could use that also to connect to audio interface here. I'm using the balanced outs, XLR cable. And USB, I have it connected now to my laptop. I'm gonna show you soon some things in there. And also MIDI. So you can program this. Let's say you have a couple of different amps like I have here, and then you know, certain IR works the best with 5150, certain with Plexi, whatever. You can program your, well, I have a G Lab switcher, looper, whatever, but I haven't connected it to this. I have connected it into this KHE, so I can switch amps with my foot here. So that's it. What it is, many things in one single rack unit, and it's very high quality. How it compares to the Suhr Reactive Load. As you can see from the screen, I have here two channels, Sandrock and Suhr. The signal chain, guitar, into pedal board, the G-Lab, into KHE Audio Electronics Amp Switcher, where I have blue guitars and one Iridium, and Peavey 5150 here. Then the signal goes back to this, and then this has two outputs, cabinet outs. The other output goes to Suhr, the other goes to Sandrock's React IR. And then both signals from these devices go to this Steinberg audio interface. The inputs are in the back. You can see there. And then I'm recording this Cubase. So, classic channel, blue guitar, it's kind of like my bad boy, SD on. First, Sandrock. And the IR is my signature IR, Valovirtuos from Jens Bogren's Lean and Clean pack. Here and here. Same IR, nothing, no post-processing, no EQ, nothing, just a small amount of room reverb, so you will hear the sound like I'm hearing through the Genelec monitors that I'm monitoring myself. Gonna play some simple riffs, first with the high gain setting. So, Sandrock. I'm gonna switch to Suhr. As you can hear, they are really close. The feel, the playing feel, the response, it's the same. This has a 1.2 millisecond latency, this has 1.3, which is basically the same, and it's really fast. Some other brands, bigger brands, the latency is on some even like half bigger, and on some even more. So that's why the Suhr has been my favorite, because it really feels like you're playing with a cab, how it reacts. Okay, let's just check out once more the difference with high gain. First, the Suhr. Suhr truncates the IR that you load here into 20.5 milliseconds. This has a maximum of 190 milliseconds, 200, anyway, a lot more. So I don't remember now what the IR is, my signature IR, but you can hear that this truncates it. This has, it's more like, it's deeper. This has a little bit more kind of like highs, because I guess I'm just a player. I don't really know the technical stuff. It's just how I feel and hear. So this is like a little bit tighter, more aggressive. This is wider. And with the resonance off, it becomes a little bit tighter. there's slight difference. It's just, yeah. So to me, this is set on and forget. The bigger, the better. And reactive passive. So reactive. What that means, because the Blue Guitar Amp 1, it's real 100-watt tube amp. When the signal goes to the cabinet, and then there's negative feedback that hits back the amp. So it creates this interaction between amp and cabinet. So this is what this does, the reactive knob. Why this? I mean, sometimes you could use that as an effect to have really like dull sound, like. But I think, because, like I said, you can connect the cabinet here, and without the attenuator, then the amp would react with the cabinet to have the negative feedback. So then you would need this reactive load, because if you're using a cabinet, so that's really handy. Okay, so basically, when using IR and not a cabinet, these are set to on and forget. You know, sounds awesome. Okay, then let's switch to clean sound. SD off, chorus on. First, sand rock. It's a bit deeper, like natural and warmer than the Suhr. And I think because this truncates the IRs. Obviously this has the direct out like this, so you can add the IR later in your DAW, and then that doesn't happen. But I like to keep things simple. I've recorded a couple of albums with this, many videos, quite a few sessions, and I record the IR because it's just so simple, you know, set and forget, and no need to fuss anything. Okay, so yeah, these both are great. The playing feel, it's just so good and musical. The best I've tried I've tried a few others. This has been my favorite, but this, well, it's a matter of personal preferences. Both sound great. This is a little bit truncated, sharper. This sounds bigger. So, those are the differences. Okay, so this takes 100 watts. Can you play a 5150 into this, which is 120 watt? Yes, you can. Because when the master is around noon, and it's kind of like maybe 20% of the power, so it's not even close to 100 watts, the output. I have it now on 3. I found the sweet spot is between 3 and 5. After that, it just gets mushy. So let me just show you 5150. And with these knobs, so you set the input level, as you saw, I switched so that it's on the yellow and orange. And then if this starts to clip, then you know it's too much. So you want to set it as high as possible without, this is the output clipping. So you don't want to have a, you know, like audio clipping. I mean, it's a distortion, it clips, but you know what I mean. You don't want to have the audio clipping. It was on orange, but it wasn't still clipping, so it's safe. Alright, that's that. Alright, the software. I have my MacBook connected via USB cable to the device. So it looks like this. There's a lot of things you can do. Here's the IRs I have loaded here. They're all Jens Bogren IRs, from Rhythm pack, from Lead and Clean pack, and from Christian Colles Rainbows and Chainsaws pack. Good. Okay. Then Valovirta's IR, my signature IR. Then I have Valovirta's 1.2. There's a 1.2. There's a 2 dB cut with a 1.3 Q value at 1.2 through kilohertz. That's the setting I used on my forthcoming solo album and on the first single, The Bad Boy, which I did a video link there how I recorded and mixed it. I just found it that this small cut to the rhythm guitars in the post did the job. So I made an IR here to the device, but this is kind of my go-to IR, the basic Valovirta rules. Works on everything. And then it comes with 5 IRs, 3 Marshall, 1 Orange, and Lasse Lammert's Mesa Boogie IR. They all sounded good. They were, you know, okay, but not as good as Bogren IRs, in my opinion. So how do you drag an IR here? Well, you drag it like this. Yeah. Now we have the Valovirtuos there. Cool. And then I can rename it here. And then let's do it like Valovirtuos demo. Apply. And then it shows it here when I unplug this USB cable. Then what I can do, I can EQ it differently if I want. And so on. There's 5 bands, and you can determine yourself what those 5 bands are doing. So let's say if I want to have the 1.2 cut and with a Q value of 1.3 and 2 decibels, and it's like this. Now it's the original. As simple as that. There's high pass filter, which you can determine the values, low pass filter, noise gate. I tried it. It cuts the noise, but it also, when you set it quite high, it cuts a little bit of the tails. It wasn't as natural, the fade out, like with the ISP decimator that I mainly use. So, but if you play like rhythm with heavy gain, you know, for recording, it doesn't really matter. And then this tone stack. There's a couple of different amplifiers, so these emulates different amplifiers tone stack. J800, I think it's JCM 800. And then there's different types of power amp, like curves, how they interaction, the reactiveness. So you can plug, like I said, just a preamp to this, and then it simulates the interaction between preamp and power amp. And the tone stack of, let's say if you have a like Freeman BOD, kind of like preamp pedal what I've used, and then you could, you know, plug it directly this and then choose this tone stack, so it kind of emulates how the BE would sound if you would plug it into 800. Okay, then this demo IR I have. So here's what we have. Here's a mixer. So you can load 8 IRs, you can mix them, blend them, and then you can print them as one IR. Okay, I haven't found the need to do that because I use the Jens Bogren's IRs. They are so good that I haven't found the need to blend, especially because this has the EQ, so I can kind of shape like I did with my Valovirta's IR. I just cut it a little bit of the 1.2K just to make it a little bit different sounding IR. But let me show you how you can do this. So it comes with a few cabinets, American 4x12, and then there's a Marshall Orange and whatever. But let's just use this classic, because the Valovirta's IR, it's based on a Mesa and V30s. So what we have here now is Mesa cabinet, V30s, SM57 and the 45 angle. As you hear, 57 sometimes alone can be a bit harsh, but what we can do is let's activate the second slot and so same cabinet, same speaker, let's use a Royal 121 and let's put it like this. It smoothen out the 57 and adds lots of lows, so because alone this one cabinet with 121 SM57 and together and then you can burn this to the device and you have created, or like I just created, an impulse response. But the way I do it, I just choose one from Jens Bogren. But this is, cool thing to do and maybe, try out different combinations. And then there's let's say this Valovirta is my IR, so I can actually see the length. So you can see here, you can choose if you wanna, investigate it. There's nothing. Then frequency response. So this is my signature IR's frequency response. This is time samples. It's here about 2000 samples and 50 millisecond if I read this right. I might be wrong because I don't really care about these things, whatever. If it's 30, 20, 200, 500, it's like secondary. If it sounds good, it's good, and feels good, it's good. I'm a player. I just wanna, play, write music, set and forget. Keeping it simple. But it's a cool thing to let's take this damn good one. As you can see, it's a little bit different. The curve is a bit different than this one. So, and then you can create IRs with this, and there's the tone matcher. I haven't tried those because honestly I haven't found the need, but if you're interested how to create an IR and do a tone matching, there's a couple of really good videos. Lasse Lammert has done a video of that German producer, and then Big Hairy Guitars, Michael from his channel. He's American, LA based engineer, guitar player. He's done a great video of this too and how he created an IR. I'll put the links on those in the description below if you're interested to see those. And then when you've chosen these IRs, let's take this off. Yes, I want to delete that, and the IR I just made, yeah, delete that. Now I have 2 empty slots there. Then burn this to device. And now they are here on this device. When I unplug this, now as you see here, maybe, now this works. So now I can scroll through the IRs here. Then I can access the menu, the noise gate, whatever, ext lining, EQ, so I can then press here, then I can go to the EQ and do the same I did there, handy. Let's take it back, and then there's a, you know, overall volume, MIDI in, save all settings. You can pretty much do a lot of the basic things, at least what I need to do without using the software. Now I have the 22 IRs from Bugren and the one that came stock. This Marshall, vintage Marshall, it's with 20 watt greenbacks. This is actually pretty good. Compared to my signature. One thing which is really cool, this attenuator. So my cabinet's been on all the time. Let me turn it on. So what's really cool with this in a recording situation like home studio, so I could actually get feedback. You know how it is if you try to put your guitar in front of the, you know, monitors. It's like, nah, but I can do it like this. So I can record actual feedback. It was very good now because I have neighbors here and stuff, so the cabinet was really quiet. But you know, I can turn this up, so that's really cool. And like I said, this is so good, this attenuator. There's no like, it's, you know, there's no like whatever is the word in English. This is just smooth, and I can have my cab connected all the time, and nothing is coming through. It totally blocks everything. Then when I open it, you know, I can have it here. So absolutely fantastic. Is this noisy? Well, I mean, yeah, there's a fan. If you really crank the amp and play along, obviously the fan will start to work to cool the thing down. And yes, there's a little reactive noise like on this one, whatever it's the word, but when you play, there's like a small amount of, you know, it's working. So, conclusion. This is so good, and with the price, it's like, I think, 400 euros, 500. It's a no-brainer. It's, like I said, load box, attenuator, passive load, reactive load, resonance reactive load, IR loader, IR mixer, IR, you can create IRs, you can tone match the sound of your amp, you can play with the pedal, preamp like pedal, and have this do like simulate the tone stack of few amplifiers and the behavior between power amp, headphones in, out, absolutely fantastic. Is it better than this? Well, it has a lot more going on. The service is really good. They sounded a little bit different. This sounded a little bit fuller. Is it better? Well, that's a matter of personal preferences, but this is the one I'm gonna use now, and this is the one I will maybe use someday. I will keep that because it's awesome too. hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative, and maybe hopefully I answered maybe questions you've had in mind regarding this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye.